All right, Shalom. Want to begin by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honor to our beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And shalom to all the Akim pushing this truth with sincerity. It's the brother Itazawan from the DMS Columbus, Ohio branch. Coming back again with another video through the Spirit. Lord willing, it is edifying. And through the Spirit, just want to touch on, this video that was shared by the beloved Elder Yashawamba from the GMS Dallas camp. And, I had watched it earlier, okay, and pretty much, more talks of the MOTB being pushed and implemented in the planet Earth, okay? It's evident that we can see, the direction, okay, we are going in concerning prophecy, and we're headed straight to the MOTB, okay? You can see in society things have changed, and it's a spirit because, just getting off the plantation, one of my bosses, all right, which he's an elderly guy, in his 60s, so he's been around the block. He's like, man, everything is just weird now, So, he's been through the system where, he had checks and, of course, dollar bills and, you know what I'm saying? Okay. He seen the coming of, debit cards and, he just pretty much has seen America, go through these different infrastructures concerning, the economy. Okay. And now we're, slowly but surely, all right, going into a new infrastructure, which is going to be based upon AI, okay, digital IDs, you see, and ultimately the MOTB, okay, because one thing we got to understand when we tap into the MOTB, and then one thing I like to, key in on is ultimately the mindset of Esau, Edom, and, his agenda. You see, this man, this Edomite, ultimately is trying to play the Most High. He's trying to play God. He's trying to, ascend above the Most High. Okay? But like the scripture say in Obadiah, Lord, will we get it? The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. This is Isaiah 14. And I'm going to start at 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. Okay. Concerning ultimately Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, America. All right. Like I said, O Lucifer, which means, illuminated, the Illuminati. All right. You see, they hold or bear the light on the left hand side. And like it says, which didst weaken the nations here in Babylon the Great. Okay, America, as a whole has weakened all the nations. Okay, like the scriptures say, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand to what? Make all the other nations drunken. Okay, verse 13, it reads, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You see? And like I said, this is the so-called white man's, which his biblical nationality is Edom, the Edomite. All right? His forefather being Esau. This is his agenda. Okay? To be a god. To be immortal. You see, and it's funny because I just recently watched the new Predator, me and the beloved bro, the elder bro P. All right. And, when you tap into that, it was dealing with AI, in particular, a company called the Whaling Company, and, not to spoil too much of the movie, but, they were on a quest to this planet and ultimately, wind up bumping into, one of the predators and, that's just some of the plot. But they were on this planet in particular, seeking out this certain monster who had, this ability to regenerate. Okay, and they were pretty much trying to, sample his DNA to bring it to Earth, to create Salakia, to help enhance humans, okay, and make them immortal. You see? So ultimately, when you're dealing with Esau, Edom, and, getting a further understanding of the MOTB, you have to understand his quest to godhood, okay, or to be like the Most High. You see, and that's why dealing with the MOTB, it isn't far-fetched, because in that, he will be able to implement his NWO and ultimately, be in a position as a god, all right, with AI being his priest, all right, or his, how can I put it, his authority, so to speak, you see, to control all humanity. This is this man's agenda. This is this man's, motive to be like the Most High. So when we tap into the MOTB, that's one thing we have to understand is ultimately where this man's headspace is. Okay? What is he trying to conjure up? What is his sole goal, and why is he doing what he is doing? You see, because, ultimately when you deal with Esau Edom, he's a carnal man. And of course he isn't the Most High. He doesn't have spiritual power. Okay, but ultimately his spiritual power comes from what? His technology. You see? Or his power, I would say. All right? So he's going to use that to his benefit. That's why he has AI slowly but surely governing the world with him in control of it. All right? But anyways, let's jump to this video. Clear some of these tabs. And let's lock in. So we're going to let this video... Oh, my gosh. Okay, come on. Just making sure my audio was on. But we're going to let this video play. Get a couple points. And call it that, Lord willing.
On social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation. Hate.
Right, this man wants to control everything, even what you say. Here it is. I mean, this is the WEF, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, this may be the World Economic Forum. But, here in America, in a lot of Western, based countries, what do they push? Free speech, free this, the land of the free, this, and that. Which that was all lies. They lied to you when they said that, man. They lied all the way. You see? So now, like I said, he's trying to control everything you say. Hate speech, so on and so forth. Like I said, and with that MOTB being implanted in human beings, he can control your livelihood. So here it is, say you say the wrong thing, okay, or type the wrong, paragraph, on Instagram or whatever. You see under someone's comment, now they can deduct funds automatically. And a good movie to watch in this day and age, once more, is Demolition Man. Okay? If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a great movie, and it shows you the thought process of Esau Edom and where he wants the planet Earth to be. Let's keep going.
And cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots, and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions.
When you say you make a man offender for a word, let's get that. Is that in Isaiah? Yep. It's Isaiah 29. It says, let's start at 20. It says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off." Right, and see, that's what's about to happen. This man is about to be cut off. Verse 21, that make a man an offender for a word. You see? That make a man an offender for a word, right? You can't even speak. You can't even be manly. You can't voice your opinion, you know? And lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Okay? This is what Esau Edom is performing in the planet, man. This man is about to come down. All right? It's about to come down with that wrath. Revelation 12.
Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity. Because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media be impossible. See, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity. Because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms.
Let me see. Oh. Pseudo. Hold on, how do you spell that? Slocky, I just want to look up this word. Damn, I just had it. Pseudonym. Pseudonym, it says, is the practice of using a false or pseudo name instead of one's real name to conceal one's true identity. It allows individuals to create a separate digital identity for online interactions, participate in communities, and express opinions without revealing their real world self. Okay, con. Just curious. Let's keep going.
As the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet.
See, they trying to
This
get
way,
everything interlocked. You see? So they can, like I said, spy and watch over everyone. Okay? Via AI. He wants everything linked, everything one. You see? This is this man's agenda, bro. Let's get that. What he says, heap. Is that in Habakkuk? It's Habakkuk 2 and 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up in him, lifted up. It's like, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Right? Here it is. You're a trillionaire. You got the whole fucking planet, but this nigga's still not satisfied. This nigga still wants to go above and beyond instead of, going a route that man like Nikola Tesla, okay, we're trying to go. Where ultimately they use technology to benefit the world, not destroy it. Because, technology ultimately isn't wicked. It's just how you use it. Okay? You have a lot of things that are created that can help benefit the world, but this man uses these devices on the left hand. For instance, look at planes. Here it is. That is a nice form of travel. It's a sight to see. But all in all, what? He's using them, for good in some cases, I would say, transportation. But he's using it on the left-hand side as well to spread what? Chemtrails. I'm looking at them now. Chemtrails all over the fucking place, man. Heavy metals in the air. You see? Power lines. Power is a good thing. Heat, electric, you know, AC. Okay? But what? You got them hanging over people's head. And that's causing what? Radiation be spewed in the air. You see? Instead of, using, solar panels, whatnot. Okay? It's all types of ways to, integrate, or merge technology with humanity. And I'm pretty sure through the Spirit, we're going to be able to tap into that on the right hand in the kingdom. Okay? Through the Spirit, just, speaking as a man. Okay? Because the planet is going to be upgraded. Just keep on.
Could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold.
Okay, now I see what he's saying. Because here it is, like you said, the practice of using a false or pseudonym instead of one's real name to conceal one's true identity. And it's like you said, you can have a nickname, you could, socially, be someone else, okay, but it's ultimately linked to who you really are. In any event that you go type in some stupid shit, all right, we know exactly who you are, okay, in real life. Because like you say, you got a lot of burner accounts, people go under fake names, so on and so forth, scammers, okay, catfishers and all that, But if, people who scam, who write harmful comments or hack, whatever, okay, in any event we catch you, you're linked to a real person. You're not just, you don't just have a burner account where you could just delete everything and, you know what I'm saying, get away with shit.
Them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
Someone on Depop really wants your style. Depop.
Well, many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin. It's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how healthy
Didn't look
is
very
that for
micro,
you?
did it?
No. It was pretty big.
It was a pretty big chip.
I mean, a paper cut hurts. You're going to put a thing like that, in
what
your
happens
hand?
if you have to change banks? You got to get
Right,
that thing
you got
and
to
put
change it
back
out.
in. I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I would just want to know how it affects your body.
People are saying this. You got people who are against it. Some may be Edomites. Okay? But all in all, Esau not taking no for an answer, bro. Let's just get it. Revelation 13:16. Okay, because when you go into this chapter, it ultimately goes into Esau, Edom's power structure. Okay, beginning with the Greek Empire. All right, all the way into now. Okay, but let's read it. Revelation 13. Let's start at 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? If you don't get down with this man's system, you're going to die. Okay? And you see it now. This Edomite, in particular DJ Trump, he's getting rid of all runts. All right. All the slow bellies, all those who aren't for it in America, he's getting rid of them. The DEI, all the slothful, bullshit people who aren't down, even those of his own people or of his own nation. You that's just collateral damage. Fuck them. Okay? This man is not fucking playing, bro. He's not playing with nobody, even his own people. The elites, they going through with this shit. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And like we go into often, that word mark in the Greek is charagma, okay? Going into what? Pale/stake, okay? This man is going to impale you. He's going to brand you, all right? And it's a spirit because I had tapped into 3rd Maccabees, which is just, pretty much history. When you deal with Ptolemy Philopator, all right, pretty much, he had a situation where he came up against Jerusalem. He wanted to enter into the temple. And, the Lord prohibited that, you see, through the outcry of the nation at that time. And in that, pretty much, he had a seizure or whatever, you see. But from him being rejected, from going into the temple, well, in particular the holies of holies, that's where he was trying to enter because of his pride. He put hell upon the Jews at that time. Okay? And what did he do? He branded them. See? He branded them. I believe with the symbol of Dionysus at that time. All right? So Esau Edom is tapping back into that, Verse 17, it says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See? Because, like I said, with this chip, he will be able to control your well-being. He can control your life. He can shut you off and on as he will. Say something wrong on Instagram. Say something wrong about, DJ Trump or the prime minister, whatever. Say something wrong. Say something about him. Because niggas just talk all time. Say something wrong about the JOOs, man. The big nostril people. Say something about them. All right, beep. Social credit score goes down. Funds go down. Now you can't eat. See? This is where this man is taking things, man. All right? Probably get a little more than call it, Lord willing. See what happens.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Ooh-wee. Good luck with that.
Exactly 5 years ago, the Central Bank of Brazil, their equivalent of the Reserve Bank of Australia, introduced a new government-run payment system known as PIX. It's an app on people's phones, and the central bank forced all the banks to accept it. Brazilians can use it to transfer money instantly from their bank account to anyone else's, a friend or a shop, either using their PIX alias or, in a shop, a QR code. And the best thing? Well, it's free for people to use, and there's a single merchant fee of 0.22%. 93% of Brazilians now use PIX, and it's rapidly displacing cards. You know it's working because the US President Donald Trump is bitterly complaining about it, saying that those great American companies, Visa and MasterCard, are losing out. So he's whacking Brazil with a 50% tariff. So here's my question. How come the Reserve Bank of Australia doesn't do it? It's talking about cutting card payment costs by $1.2 billion, but actually $6.4 billion in fees are being hoovered up for not doing very much by Visa, MasterCard and the banks, as well as Apple and Google, since about half the transactions are now using cards on our phone wallets. And that's only going to increase because, as we know, cash is on the way out. What's more, the fees are hidden. We tap our card or phone without knowing about all the little added extras. So why don't we have PIX? Well, apparently it's because the payments infrastructure in Australia is entirely built around cards. And getting everyone to switch to an app where you have to scan a QR code or know the other person's alias would be hard. Also, the system is owned by the banks and Visa and MasterCard. So the government would have to effectively nationalise it, which was fine for Brazil, but in Australia we privatise businesses, not the other way around.
As ATMs and bank branches close and Australians increasingly rely on digital payments, one economist predicts the country will be cashless in the next few years. But there are fears a world without banknotes will leave people unable to pay for essential goods and become easy targets for cyber criminals.
Never ever sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a better way to get compensated that's faster, easier, and could get you way more money.
No time for delay on the
And
lunch
fair
rush.
use, by
Tap
the
away
way,
when you're ready.
man.
Tap.
Lord willing. Fair use, Jason A. Fair use. I hope he don't hit me with no copyright. Fair use. Lord willing. So I might just shut this joint off. In any event, I get hit with a copyright, but Lord willing, this is fair use.
Away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready.
Cafe Pablo and Rusty's was one of the first
Fair use,
businesses to
Jason A.
axe
Fair use.
cash. Now heavy hitters are on
Not
board,
making-
including
I mean, it's fair
KFC.
use. I'm not making any money, not gaining anything monetary off of this video, off of this clip. This is solely for informational purposes, all right, and for the edifying of the flock.
Krispy Kreme and Nando's. Even Macquarie Bank is phasing out cash deposits and withdrawals.
We're definitely going to become a cashless society. It's better for consumers and it's better for businesses.
UNSW
That's how they try to push it, that convenience. All right, convenience. Okay, but see, ultimately they're trying to link you to a AI driven system that's going to govern the whole planet. Okay, where they can ultimately, all right, have eyes over every human soul on the planet. They can run and operate, all right, in the world as a tyrant, but try to push it as this is the best thing for humanity. This is for convenience. This is for evolution. This is for forwarding humanity. You see? Just cunning, craftiness, deceitfulness. Real quick. What's that, Psalms? Is it 55 or 58? Maybe 55. Yep, this is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. See? So he's going to, speak like this man all eloquently. Oh, it's the best thing for society. It's convenient. It's, nah. All right. It's better for consumers. It's easier to manage. It prevents theft. Okay? Which ultimately, if you had the laws, statutes, and commandments in the planet Earth, all that would be prevented. See, ain't enough fear out here, okay? Of real judgment, okay?
Macquarie Bank is phasing out cash deposits and withdrawals.
We're definitely going to become a cashless society. It's better for consumers and it's better for businesses.
UNSW Professor of Economics Richard Holden says in 5 years we'll be functionally cashless unless the Reserve Bank acts even sooner.
We could say year one, we'll get rid of the $50 bill. Year two, we'll get rid of the 20 and the 10. And year three, we'll kind of mop up the small change. And that would give people time to adjust. For older Australians, it's going to be more challenging.
No, not cashless. Definitely not.
I don't even have a wallet anymore. Just use the phone. It's great.
We want to be able to do what we...
Like I said, bro, it's just funny, man. Even in this, going to cause division. Okay, but all in all, like I said, Esau ain't don't give a fuck about what an old, Australian wench feel about, having cat. He don't care. Like I said, you could go, you could die. You don't got to be a part of society. If you're not with this, you're against this. And that's where Esau is coming. All right, that's how he's coming. If you ain't with this system, you could die. He wants like-minded individuals like that man.
It's going to be more challenging.
No, not cashless. Definitely not.
I don't even have a wallet anymore. Just use the phone. It's great.
We want to be able to do what we want with our money.
Sweden, the first nation to introduce banknotes back in the 1600s, was shaping up to be the first to get rid of them.
The demand from merchants and consumers that really decided the speed of this process.
But there was community backlash when people struggled to pay for essential goods, including the elderly and people living in areas with low internet.
We didn't see the problems in time.
Now trying to strike a balance.
New laws have come into operation, been forcing banks to have ATMs all over Sweden.
Lobby group Cash Welcome says it should serve as a cautionary tale for Australia.
Millions of Australians trust and rely on cash every day.
And it comes without the data breaches, scams and tech failures of digital payments.
Because it's not reliable. As soon as there's a flood, as soon as there's a fire, as soon as there's an internet outage, nobody can spend.
Whether you use cash or not, there's no question it's getting harder to access. In the past financial year, 11% of the nation's ATMs closed. Despite this, Aussies still withdraw $8 billion in cash every single month.
No doubt some will need convincing.
I guess the tooth fairy is going to go digital.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, grain of
rice. That's that grievous sword. See, because you gonna have that foreign object in your body.
Rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Come on, man. You can't make this shit up. Your whole life is going to be on that device. But behind closed doors, AI and Esau Edom is tapped into that device as well. All right, you ain't pay your rent. How you going to get... Come on, man. It's easy. Say you late on your rent or whatever. All right. Hit your chip. Now you can't get in the door. You know? It's real. But that's pretty much the point. They're just going to show him, well, let's keep reading.
Have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
And it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingredient. What they call it, predictive programming. Let me look that up. Predictive programming. Predictive programming can have different meanings depending on the context. It is used in a social, political, and conspiracy context to describe media and entertainment designed to prepare the public for future events or policies. In a neuroscience and computer science context, predictive coding, refers to the brain's process or anticipating sensory input and learning algorithm. All right, come. But yeah, see, they gearing people up, man. Little do you know, they're slowly weaning people off of cash, you know? So ain't gonna be no more shoebox money. A little stash under the bed, you know. Meemaw got a, little roll of 20s under her, in her bra for bad times. Ain't gonna be none of that, man. It's gonna be that grain of rice.
Procedure with local anesthetic, and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted.
You say simple and swift. See? So that's how you know, man. Just like with the jab. You know, they already got it. Once they get the mandates, once they, you know, collapse societies and, you know, make their moves to, you know, ultimately justify themselves in bringing this device, line up. They already got it. They already got it. And like you said, it's swift and instant. You know? They already got the data. They got the information. They know where you work. They got your bank. They got it. You know, put your joint up to the QR code, or hey, you got your phone. Type in your info, whatever. They confirm it. They verify your identity. Boom, you're linked in. Easy.
The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I think, it's so much more data can go into this, you know.
They don't care, because if you don't get with the program like we read in Revelation 13, let's read it again. If you don't get with the program, this is the result. Revelation 13:15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that he being Esau, Edom. Okay, the image of the beast, his system. All right, like you say, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Because what? You know, you deal with Rome, all right, or the ancient Roman Empire. You know, through America, that, you know, system is being revived in the earth and modernized in today's, you know, fashion, you know, dealing with the technology, etc. But the goal, you know, is the same. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. If you don't get down with this, you're done.
When it's in your body.
There's no central registry track.
Going to bend and fold, man. A lot of people act like, you know, or, you know, some people may be against it. And I believe a lot of people are. Okay, I believe a lot of people are against it. But, like I said again, it doesn't matter to Esau, man. Because, you know, all he got to do is restrict you. All right. From your, like I said, your daily necessities. You know, prohibit you from doing certain things and accessing certain things. And then over time, a lot of people are just going to conform. Why? Because they don't have, they're not rooted in nothing, in no higher faith. And see, this is where the elect prevail, because we're going to be rooted in Yahweh Shai in that day. We're going to trust and lean on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Let's get Isaiah, the 10th chapter. And is it 20? 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, right? So, you know, of course, we're going to go through the loops and hoops until that mandatory chip comes into play. You know, we got to still play our role and do what we got to do as, you know, captives, okay, slaves in this kingdom. But it's going to come upon a time where we're going to have to solely depend on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? Once he comes with that, once he comes with the mandates, man, it's like, all right, now we're done. All right, we done went through the RFID, you know, in the credit cards. We didn't have the digital IDs and, you know, whatever. Okay, now he's coming with that MOTB. It's over. Now it's just, all right, we out here. See what happens. Pray to the Lord and pray we are able to, you know, make it out of this system, man. Okay? And be granted deliverance for our faithfulness, Lord willing. Okay? So that's pretty much it, you know. That's the rest of the video.
How many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality.
See? So, again, fair use, Jason A. Like I said, this is not for any monetary gain, etc. Hey, if anything, we push the same message. Like you said, it's here. We were warned this was coming. All right, and if you didn't know, you know, this was ultimately prophesied, you know, thousands of years ago, okay, in the Holy Bible, or, you know, a couple thousand years ago, roughly. See? This was all written in the scripts, man. But anyways, like I said, again, Lord's will, this is edifying to whoever may receive it. We'll give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechak, Wadash. Shalom.